What is a stinky smell you think stinks kinda good? Stink bugs and skunks. Stink bugs just smell like fallen leaves in the autumn to me, like when you're raking them up or were playing in them as a kid. I learned a couple years ago that it's a genetic predisposition thing. The same thing that either makes you hate or love cilantro also determines if you think the stink bug smell is foul or not. The skunk smell just isn't offensive to me. I can smell it just fine, but where my parents who also hate the stink bug smell will gag and complain about it, it's just a smell to me. My weird smelling BO and sweat. I really dislike sour candy and the smell of it in general, but my own armpits smell a lot like sour belt candy almost, and I hate it. For some reason, it smells almost good when it's a bit more sweaty after exercise. It's strange how it smells this way. And I scrub it away in the shower hard then deodorize, but it always smells a bit sweet. Think of a sour belt sweating. XD. This was a bit long and chaotic, my smelly apologies you skunk. The spray of a skunk is the comforting and earthy smell that makes me feel like it's communicating something about the hidden wilderness beyond words. I have been sprayed by a skunk and didn't mind it much after cleaning my eyes. I love that such a small animal is so fierce. Purina Dog Food Factory. My house was a couple miles north of a Purina Dog Food Factory. Every morning I remember the first smell I smelled when I went outside as a dog food factory. Yes, it stank, but now to me, it just reminds me of home, and when I smell it I feel like, I'm home. Dogs. Many people say that dogs stink, and wet dogs especially, but to me it is a pretty cozy smell. Got used to it, probably grew up with dogs all around. Also, the gunshot smell. Burnt gunpowder, smokeless or not, emits quite a pleasant odor, should you ask me. Unpopular opinion possibly, but the smell of clay. You ever smell clay? It's like earthy, yet kinda wet smelling, if that makes sense. The stuff you find outside is not packaged in a store has the best stink level. This might just be like science of two people in love, but my significant other's mix of deodorant and BO, crying face. Anyone else who smells like BO and deo smells bad, but when it's someone you're in love with it's stiff. Some men smell like the sun after a day out. I'd gotta explain it, but it's my favorite smell and I kind of get drunk off of it. I love standing in an elevator full of tradies and all I smell is man, guys after a massive workout. It has to be workout sweat, not stress sweat, the two smell different. Also only works when I find them attractive, but fuck me does it make me so damn ready to go. Hot face. For some reason if I sweat a little bit but not too much, there is a sweet spot when my sweat smells kinda like marijuana. And I love the smell of weed, so it's a win-lol. Certain people's sweat smells really good. It has to be the sweet kind though, not the raunchy smell. Also head smell. The way hats smell are weird but good, haha. The baby cow formula my grandpa used to make when I was a kid, nobody asked, but the worst smell I've ever smelled was when I had paper cash in my freezer. Skunk from a mile away. Smells like summer road trips through the south with the window open. Just a nostalgic and evocative scent on the breeze. That one page of the 1986 September issue of the National Geographic that had the scratch and sniff examples of perfume from the time of Napoleon. Floor wax. As a Filipino, reminds me of my childhood. On a Sunday morning, my dad blasting the radio with 60s song, Mom is cleaning the house. Weirdly, cigarettes. I don't smoke, but walking into a casino in Las Vegas has that old cigarette smoke smell is amazing to me for some reason. Perm solution, it makes me hungry? But I think it was a weird Pavlov's dog scenario, because we would do perms at beauty school before lunch. Aloe vera reeks like camping socks, but get one too many burns and you start Pavloving yourself into here comes the relief when you cut it. Pussy. No one thinks it smells good, but unless they got some infection or something, you'll always bury your face in it given the chance. Gasoline, matches, a freshly lit kerosene heater, my own farts, and Marlboro Reds. Dad used to smoke him and it always reminds me of him. Gasoline. My farts. My dog's breath. And, the one I'll be judged for, my feet when I had athlete's foot. I kinda miss it. Dog feet. That whole Fritos corn chip but not quite odor. Not to be confused with yeast. That's an entirely different odor. Petrol. Gas pump. Lighting a matchstick. Chemical starch spray used before ironing clothes. Nude modeling clay. Naphthalene. My own worn socks. I swear I don't have a foot fetish, but I've always liked the smell of my sweaty socks and shoes. Gasoline. Smoked oysters in a can. Bleach. Newspapers, fresh ones. That's all I can think of right now. Used motor oil. Gasoline. Stink bugs. Nail polish remover. Sharpies. dust remover in a plastic bag, crack it, etc. Junk mail pamphlets. Not all of them, but some of them, thumbs up. I think I'll go and sniff one now. Half-pint 07 this one's for you boo. Tell them how to like the smell of your fingers after you take a shit. I think it's technically the smell of dust, but garages or closets seem to all have a similar good smell. Wood stain, or that oil-based polyurethane stuff that says use in a ventilated area. Never. Wet dog. My gran had 4 dogs and we were very outdoorsy, so it weirdly reminds me of my childhood. Horse sweat and cow manure. I'd cut grass and it's heaven. Then again, skunk smells like erasers, the smell of tobacco or when you first light a cigarette, but not the smoke shortly after. Grew up in the countryside. I like the smell of shit from a cow. Reminds me of childhood. Mills Fleet Farm. If you live in the upper Midwest, you know what I'm talking about. Cutting metal. I love being in the shop when someone is fabbing something up. Skunk. I fucking love the smell of skunk. Smells like the stickiest of icky. The subway station, especially in Stockholm. It's a dusty metallic smell. My dog's disgusting breath. I can tell it smells horrendous, but I like it. Seaweed on the beach. Missed it even when I was living in the mountains. Swiss cheese, and other types of cheese. Stinky but also good stinky. Skunks, gasoline, and peanut. Edited to add rubber cement. My dog's feet, of course, only happens when the grass is wet though. The in the day vagina and ass combo post cocktails pre-shower. Woozy face. Partners BO. Before people scream at me, it's called pheromones. Smiley face. Puppy breath. The top of a baby's head. The greenhouse or atrium. The smell of my pup's paws. They smell like stinky Cheetos. Lol. Dairies and cattle trucks. Reminds me of growing up on a farm. Skunk-eyed quiet smells so good to me, it's very strong though. The misty smell of teeth being drilled upon at the dentist. That weird smell of your cheese when you touch your piercing. Pizza. It clings to everything, but it's such a great smell. My own poop. To be clear, just my own poop, no one else's. Hot tarmac when road surfaces are being later repaired. Obviously some people are into scat sex. I can never. Food that has not been stored in the fridge for 2 days. Cigarettes, cigars and weed. They smell so good to me. The smell of a new car, bike, chainsaw, pipe baking in. My sweat. Many girls I've dated say it smells good. Kitty breath, because I associate it with puddles.